Most gardeners spend hours worrying about fertilizers, watering schedules, or the right crop varieties. But the real secret to thriving soil health often lies in what's hiding at the microbial level. One of the most powerful allies in your garden is a group of overlooked microorganisms called Actinomycetes. They're neither true fungi nor typical bacteria, but unique life forms that bridge the two worlds. And here's the fascinating part. They can be summoned into your soil using the very garden scraps you normally throw away. Once they move in, they transform dead matter into rich humus, protect your plants from disease, and build long-lasting fertility that no chemical fertilizer can match. Actinomycetes are filamentous microbes that look like tiny white threads spreading through soil or compost, often mistaken for fungal mycelium. They are responsible for that earthy smell of freshly tilled soil, a sign of life and renewal. Unlike most bacteria, Actinomycetes excel at breaking down tough organic matter such as lignin, cellulose, and chitin, the hard materials found in wood chips, stems, shells, and fibrous roots. Without them, soil would struggle to recycle these complex substances, and organic residues would simply pile up instead of enriching your garden. Their power lies in producing natural enzymes and antibiotics. In fact, many life-saving medicines like streptomycin were discovered from soil Actinomycetes. In the garden, this translates into natural suppression of harmful fungi and bacteria. That means healthier crops, stronger resistance to diseases, and less need for chemical interventions. You know, while Actinomycetes can survive in almost any soil, they really flourish when given access to those forgotten garden scraps that most gardeners rarely use effectively. Unlike the soft kitchen waste that mostly attracts bacteria and fungi, Actinomycetes prefer the harder, drier, and more fibrous material. Stems from harvested crops, shredded cardboard, dry leaves, peanut shells, corn stalks, and even trimmed branches are like a buffet for them. These scraps may seem slow to decompose on their own, but in the presence of Actinomycetes, they become the foundation of humus-building activity. Instead of just tossing these materials aside or, heaven forbid, burning them, you can strategically layer them in your compost or bury them shallowly in the soil. Within just a few weeks, you'll notice a white, cobweb-like growth covering the pieces. Now don't worry, that's not mold. It's the thriving network of Actinomycetes at work, unlocking nutrients your plants couldn't access otherwise. Every gardener dreams of having fertile soil that holds water, breathes well, and feeds plants steadily. But this doesn't happen by chance. It's the result of humus formation. Actinomycetes are key players in this process. As they break down stubborn organic matter, they leave behind stable carbon compounds that resist further decay. These compounds bind soil particles together, creating that crumbly, dark, rich structure gardeners dream about. Unlike synthetic fertilizers that wash away after just one season, humus built by Actinomycetes lasts for decades. It improves the soil's ability to store water, reduces erosion, and provides a slow-release nutrient bank for plants. This means, less dependence on purchased inputs and a more resilient garden ecosystem. Actinomycetes don't demand much, but they do have preferences. They flourish in slightly alkaline to neutral soils, ideally with a pH of about 6.5 to 8. They love warmth, so decomposition is fastest from spring through early autumn. They also prefer well-aerated conditions, which is why, honestly, incorporating fibrous scraps rather than waterlogged waste is so important. If your compost pile or soil is too acidic, compacted, or overly wet, Actinomycetes really struggle to establish themselves. By balancing your organic matter and ensuring proper aeration, you create an environment where they can colonize rapidly and multiply. Here's a proven way to summon Actinomycetes using a simple homemade solution. This preparation speeds up their activity and helps even tough garden scraps break down into rich humus. You will need 1 kilogram of dry, fibrous material such as chopped stems, shredded cardboard, or peanut shells. 200 grams of dried soil from the surface of a healthy garden bed, rich in Actinomycetes. 2 tablespoons of molasses or brown sugar as a microbial starter, and 10 liters of clean, chlorine-free water. Method: mix the dried soil and molasses in water until dissolved. Pour this mixture over the fibrous material and turn it well so everything is lightly moistened but not soggy. Cover loosely with breathable fabric or leaves to allow air exchange. Within 5 to 7 days, you should notice a white film spreading across the material. That's your Actinomycetes colony growing. You can then add this pre-colonized material into your compost heap or directly into the soil around crops. The microbes will continue multiplying, digesting organic matter, and building humus in place. The presence of Actinomycetes is often the difference between soils that stay tired and soils that grow richer every year. They recycle what most bacteria and fungi cannot touch. They defend plants by producing natural antibiotics in the rhizosphere, protecting roots from rot and damping off diseases. They also work deeper than surface decomposers, reaching into fibrous residues buried in soil layers, ensuring nothing goes to waste. Ignoring them is like leaving your most skilled builders out of a construction project. With their help, your garden becomes self-sustaining, fertile, and naturally resistant to common stresses. For continuous benefits, gardeners should always feed and protect their Actinomycetes populations. This can be done by regularly adding fibrous organic matter instead of relying only on soft green waste. Avoid overuse of chemical fertilizers, pesticides, or fungicides, as these can harm microbial balance. Lime can be applied sparingly to maintain soil pH within their preferred range if the soil tends to be acidic. In cooler months, covering soil with mulch protects them from harsh conditions and provides a steady food source. In warmer months, periodic watering keeps the environment moist enough for activity without drowning the microbes. By maintaining this cycle, your soil acts like a living factory, always converting waste into fertility. Many gardeners chase expensive fertilizers or trendy soil boosters without realizing the real power is already beneath their feet. By understanding and encouraging Actinomycetes, you gain a long-term advantage. Unlike short-term fixes, these microbes establish themselves, reproduce, and create conditions that improve every season. What begins with forgotten scraps turns into fertile earth capable of feeding crops abundantly with little outside help. This knowledge is not common, which makes it your hidden edge. The next time you see dried stems, cardboard, or husks in your garden, remember, they are not waste. They are invitations to the silent architects of soil fertility. Your garden doesn't need endless chemical inputs or complicated systems to thrive. What it needs is the right balance of living soil organisms, and Actinomycetes are among the most important of them all. With the right scraps, proper conditions, and the simple formula shared above, you can awaken these forgotten allies and turn ordinary soil into a powerhouse of fertility. Instead of discarding what looks useless, think of every fibrous garden scrap as a key to unlocking richer soil and healthier crops. Once you start seeing that white, thread-like growth on your compost or residues, you'll know you've successfully invited the architects of humus into your garden. From that point on, your soil will only grow stronger, season after season. If you found this guide valuable, don't forget to subscribe to Growth Hub Central Crops and share this with fellow gardeners. Together, we can spread the knowledge of these hidden soil builders and create gardens that stay fertile for generations.